How do human factors impact aviation safety? Hi, I'm Morgan, and this is an aviation safety alert. Human factors in aviation and their impact on aviation safety it's a very complex topic. And I would like to individually go into the different areas of human factors within aviation and how they individually impact aviation safety. So that would be the regulatory lens by which we would look at human factors, or from the perspective of a manufacturer, or from an airline, or from even a union or maintenance, just across the board. Each area of human factors in aviation and aviation safety is very specific to the realm it exists in. But one that is often overlooked because it kind of gets pushed down to the bottom is morale. Whether you work in aviation or not, everyone who has ever had any type of position or been involved in anything knows how the morale of the people involved can affect how the system operates as a whole, as well as safety aspects. Morale and the impacts on safety aren't just seen in aviation. That's why anyone, whether you're in aviation or not, should be able to recognize how morale can affect aviation safety. If you are driving a car and you're angry, or you feel disregarded or taken advantage of, the way you operate your car is going to be different than if you are happy and carefree. Something that affects morale significantly is uncertainty. And uncertainty is something that starts at the top and is passed down either intentionally or unintentionally. Each individual area within aviation, whether it's the federal as a whole, federal regulatory agencies individually, manufacturers, airlines individually, all the way down, each one of those has its own messaging and policies that start at the top and they go down and make it to the people who work every single day to ensure that the aviation industry is safe. When messaging from the top of each one of these aspects is either uncertain or possibly hostile towards the people who are working to keep that system operating, it can really have long-term effects on morale. Those policies and messaging don't have to be long-term messaging and policies. They can be something that is short-term, and it can still have an effect for a long period of time after that. All of this is to say that I would like to point out I have seen a lot of messaging in the last few days across different aspects of aviation, and I feel that those are very dangerous messages to be sending because they impact the morale of the people who work every single day to keep our skies safe. A good management practice, whatever area of aviation it is in, whether it's within the federal government, regulatory, a manufacturer, an airline, good management practice is one that takes into account the people who are putting in the work to keep your area operating. That means understanding individual experiences, anticipating risk and behavior, and that means supporting people when they have to make decisions because of their individual situation. For this video, I am talking about air traffic control. Workforce issues have existed within air traffic control for some time. This is not something that is new and just happened when we started the government shutdown. Another issue is on everyone's radar and has been for a while, and that's the outdated technology and systems within air traffic control. One thing I have expertise in is anticipating risk, and I feel like the messaging surrounding air traffic control specifically, but also with TSA, is a dangerous one. Improperly addressed workforce issues and policies that start at the top of each one of those areas within the system have been passed down and affected air traffic control and even TSA for quite some time. So those are factors that were created from the top of each one of those systems and passed down to the people who are actually performing the task. Anticipating the risk of those policies is the responsibility of the people at the top. Anticipating how those will manifest within air traffic control or TSA is also the responsibility of the people at the top. Having a mitigation plan to address those risks when they present themselves is also the responsibility of the people at the top in each one of these systems. That means when you create policies that introduce risk and you don't anticipate or mitigate those risks, and those risks then manifest in the ways that you knew they would, having uncertain or hostile messaging towards the people who you knew would be impacted creates a far more complex risk. The first step to fixing this issue is to clean up the messaging. The first step in cleaning up the messaging is to be supportive of air traffic controllers and acknowledge the failures in each part of this system that have led to the situation that they are currently in. Their job and the morale of air traffic control is critical to aviation safety.